Hey there. Thought I'd drop by. You're damn right. Although we haven't been toughing it out alone, thanks to Arcs.
I went ahead and gave Enga a rundown of what's happening with the Akashic Records, since it looks like it's affecting Earth, too.
Sounds like that whole mess on Earth was pretty much halfway responsible for what's been going on. I mean, materializing an entire world is sorta a little beyond what happened to us, but it's not that far off from what Deus Eska did. Oh, things are hunky-dory down on Earth, by the way. Hitsugi and Al are doing fine. Earthguide and Mother Core still have to play whack-a-mole with the odd phantasm, but nothing we can't handle together. And hey, when they bring out the really big guns, Arcs has stepped in. So we still have our problems, but no problems. In a word, the whole peace on Earth thing is kind of working out for us now. Oh, and that geezer Eritron and the math nerd are off to the US on business. Seems they're trying to get a hand from overseas with analyzing the weird stuff they've been seeing in space. Crap. Speaking of the math nerd, looks like Ak wants to chat all of a sudden. Can I just ignore it? Nah.
Listen up, Mr. 10% Casanova. When I call, you pick up in 2 rings.
Look, we can't talk if you blow out my eardrums. Just tell me what's up already.
Wait. Are you with the Oracle Fleet? What are you doing all the way out there?
What do you think, I'm on some kind of space yoga retreat? They asked me to come. They got a situation here.
Oh, right. Well, listen, we've got a situation too. A full-on 200% capital S situation.
Okay. You might want to elaborate on that one.
You two couldn't communicate your way out of a paper bag. Perhaps I should explain.
You're here too, Gramps. Guess shit must have gotten pretty real after all.
Excuse you, 10% Playboy. How come you start taking it seriously when he says it?
That'll do now, Oak. So kind as to lend me your ears. A black hole suddenly sprung up a little too close to our solar system for comfort. Now, it's far enough away that we don't seem to have an immediate problem on our hands.
But a supernova could form with no warning. Plus, according to our scientists, it's getting really huge, really fast. This is definitely not normal.
So, what's gonna happen if it keeps up this growth spurt?
What do you think happens with black holes? It'll gobble up everything. That's definitely curtains for Earth, let alone the entire galaxy.
Oak and I are working to drum up a little support with the investigation from a few countries' governments. So, young Mr. Yasaka, you let us know right away if you learn anything valuable from Arcs.
What are the odds that we'd both be up against suddenly appearing, rapidly expanding black holes? I guess if the Akashic Records hold memories of the entire universe, it makes sense that they'd affect different dimensions in the same way.
I'm feeling more and more like I've got some skin in the game here. Guess I'd better go tell Hitsugi and Al what's up. If anything happens, let me know. Think of me like your point man for all things Earth.
Understood. Thanks, Enga.
In the end, Hariette announced that her own brother, Luther, had broken the laws of Cuento, and she had passed down his judgment herself. Her explanation was as dry of details as her eyes were of tears. Stunned that she could so unflinchingly cut down her own flesh and blood, the people whispered a new name for their ruler, the Ice Queen. But Hariette paid that no mind, forging calmly ahead on the path she had decided, purging the world of ephemera. The elimination of ephemera. It was the most fitting deed she could imagine, to honor the memory of her brother. But to those who remained by her side, the strain the Queen felt was as plain as day.
No, I won't.
You must, my lady.
I said I will not.
It is not a question.
Kind of hard seeing Hariette as an Ice Queen right now, isn't it? Imagine what the people in those other countries would call her if they saw this. But you can really tell how taxed she feels, can't you?
How can you expect me to sit around and do nothing when the ephemera scourge still...
You would not be doing nothing, my lady. It would be an official inspection.
Dress it up however you like, Varuna. But now's simply not the time.
Then let me speak plainly, Your Highness. Right now, nothing is more vital than you taking a moment to rest and recuperate. You've pacts to negotiate and sign, collections to arrange, storage sites to secure. There's no telling how many hurdles lie ahead. If you do not rest when the situation allows, you'll find yourself with no strength left to give. Not to mention, should anything threaten your health now, your brother's loss would be in vain.
That's awfully underhanded of you to bring Luther into it, Varuna.
Tool at their disposal. Isn't that so, Guardian? Which brings me to another question, my lady. Is there something you need to discuss with the Guardian?
How did you know that?
I would be remiss as your aide of so many years if I could not pick up on that much, my lady. Or on the fact that you are in dire need of some rest.
If you say so, Guardian.
Come on, Hariette. It'd just be a little downtime. You'll wake up face down on the floor at the rate you're going.
Very well. I'll take some time for these official inspections, as Varuna puts it.
But if I must go, then I insist the Guardian must accompany me. If we're so concerned about overwork, just look at how many Castrum Demonicas they've had to take down. If one of us rests, so does the other. Is that fair, Varuna?
Just so, my lady. Well, Guardian, I fear I must entrust Her Highness's safety to you once more. I ask, no, beg, that you do everything in your power to shield her from any harm.
Of course we'll defend her.
Thank you, but it isn't simply that. I ask that you stay by her side. With Master Luther gone, I fear you are the only person Lady Hariette can truly rely on.
And so, Hariette set out on an inspection tour to survey the state of her long-suffering land. For days, she traveled from place to familiar place, the Guardian always at her side. At last, nearing the end of their trip, they came to Luisa, a small haven near the East Artia border. Luisa is known throughout Cuento as a small slice of paradise, situated on a massive lake embraced by miles of undisturbed nature.
Mountain runoff reacts with volcanic minerals to dye the water's surface in rainbow hues. On clear days, you can see all the way to Cuento Castle, shining bright white beyond the Rainbow Lake and the deep green forest. To compare the landscape to a fairy tale falls short of its overpowering beauty, in the face of which a visitor can only sigh in wonder. That didn't sound like quite the type of sigh the signpost was looking for.
No, not at all. Why would anything be bothering me during my precious break time?
The lady doth protest too much. Don't worry, we're not going to tell you off. It's hard to just shut your brain off for a while, huh?
Yes. I understand I needed a rest. It just doesn't sit right with me. First and foremost, the best I can do is keep my face forward, eyes dry and back straight, and try to help my country. The world, even. I can only face my responsibilities head-on, take whatever slander is thrown my way, and march forward toward what I must do. It's the reason why I was called here in the first place. I don't understand how, Guardian, but you know something about the past my brother and I shared, don't you? You must, or I can't imagine how you could have found your way to Luther's laboratory.
So you're saying all those visions the Guardian saw?
They must have been true. I have, well, Hariette has crossed death's threshold once before. The me you see here is something else, with Hariette's form. I am something that was conjured by Luther, and became Hariette. I don't fully understand what happened. When I awoke, it was over. And all I saw was Luther, my brother, stained in blood. I knew he'd conjured something terrible. And I had lost my life trying to protect him from it. And then, it was my turn to be summoned. My form is Hariette's. My manner is Hariette's. No one would ever suspect otherwise. But am I really Hariette? I don't know. Am I even a real person? And yet, in the end, what's the difference? Whoever or whatever I am, I was called here for a reason. Hariette was devoted to her country, to her people. I am no different. I will be who everyone wants me to be. Imagine if I told Varuna. The poor man would be so shocked. You'll keep this between us, won't you? Even though no one would probably believe it?
It's true. You could have kept this a secret forever.
I can't explain exactly. I suppose when you get right down to it, I felt the two of you ought to know. Well, that's not quite right. More than anything, I just wanted someone to know. I needed someone to confide in, so... Greetings, my new partners in secrecy. I've only been Hariette for 3 years now. I never would have made it without so many people to help me. There was Luther, of course, and Father, Varuna, and all the people of Cuento. I owe them all so much. They were all so kind to Hariette. I've been incredibly fortunate, having Hariette's name and walking in her shoes. I don't feel any guilt over it. I've done nothing to feel regret over. I only have to make sure I repay the kindness they've given me. That's what keeps me moving forward. Even if the cruelty of this world threatens to freeze my heart, I'll carry the warmth of that kindness. Well, let me ask one favor then. Just give me this moment to cry until the tears won't come. When that's done, I won't need to anymore. Thank you so much. I didn't know how badly I needed that. It's like I've shed a weight I didn't know I was carrying. This must be what happens when you try to hold in tears for too long. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'll be just fine now.
Hey! What are you doing? You made a girl cry! Were they harassing you? People only cry when they're sad, right? What made you want to cry?
No, I'm all right. They didn't do anything. But it's kind of you to worry.
Being a grown-up seems complicated. Me? Well, for starters, the name's Florent.
And where does a fine young man like you come from, Florent?
Good question. And the answer is a secret. But forget about that. Let's have some fun. That's what this place is for, right? A little time for play will wash the tears away. Come on, how about it?
That's a fine idea. I suppose it's why we came here, after all.
Did you notice anything strange about that kid? Exactly. Gemini the duplicate, in the flesh. Maybe he's like Luther, a snapshot of Gemini from before they became the version we know. I'm intrigued.
Wow! I can't believe you're a real fairy. I've only ever seen stuff like you in books. Hey, how does the flying bit work? Is there some kind of trick to it?
Hey! Quit tugging on my wing! Ow! I mean it! Leave my wings alone! Ah! Please help me!
I am playing nice. She's having fun too, see?
Where did you get that idea? Did you not hear me say ow?
Florent's been playing all day, and it looks like he still has energy left to spare.
Hey, miss?
Whoa! What's the matter, Florent?
I was just wondering why you look so sad. This place is pretty neat, right? It's pretty, it's bright and cheery. It's a place where everyone can have fun. Doesn't it feel like a waste to come here and not play and smile and have a good time?
I just have a great deal on my mind, Florent.
What kind of stuff's on your mind? Anything fun? Anything funny?
Not quite. Mostly questions. About the future, I suppose.
That seems kinda weird.
How so?
Well, if you don't know how the future's gonna end up, why do you look so sad about it? If things get too hard, can't you just quit? If it hurts, can't you just run away?
No, I can't do that. No matter how hard or how painful things get, I can't just run away. If I did, I'd be letting down the people who worked so hard to get me where I am. And most importantly, I personally couldn't live with myself if I just ran away.
Wow. Being a grown-up sounds complicated and hard. Good thing I'm a kid.
I'm still something of a kid myself, Florent.
Well, come on then! There's so much playing, and even more playing left for us to do.
There certainly is.
So this is where you've been, Florent.
A ghost! It's after me! Please, miss, do something!
Do something? That's a very broad request. Are you an acquaintance of Florence, perhaps?
Pardon my intrusion. I am Clarissa, guard of the first successor to Ease Ardia. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance, Queen Hariette of Cuento, and yours, Guardian. Indeed. Has my reputation perhaps preceded me?
How is it that you know our faces, Clarissa? Wait, the guard of the first successor, you said?
Ah, come on! I'm not succeeding anything yet.
Indeed. And of course, it follows that what I am about to do is quite proper.
Ow!
What were you thinking, gallivanting off without a chaperone? Do you think yourself worth so little attention?
But I just had to see this place. It's one of the most famous sites in Cuento. And you'd never let me go if I asked anyway. What was I supposed to do?
Is that your best excuse?
I'm sorry.
Very good then. Your Majesty Hariette, Guardian, thank you for keeping young Florent safe. I beg your pardon, but I must repay your kindness another day. Now, back we go, Florent. You must make ready for the ceremony.
No.
What?
I don't wanna! I won't be able to play anymore after that stupid ceremony. I wanna stay free.
Don't be selfish. You made a promise, and now you must keep it.
Yeah, I know, but if this is my last chance, can't I play a little longer?
I'm sensing a lot of tension here. What exactly is Florent going to have to do?
Nothing dangerous, I promise. Florent is due to become the formal symbol of our country. In Ys Artia, the flow of trade is our lifeblood. A fool may earn money, but it takes a wise man to keep it. Therefore, our symbol must be upright and clean, free from greed, with no ties to others, praying only for the prosperity of our people. After the purification ceremony, Florent will become our beloved symbol of gain and profit.
Sounds nice on paper, but what about the part where Florent loses his freedom?
Yeah, see? I'll never be able to play with my friends again.
Which is why you were given free rein to spend your days without care until then.
Are you sure you can go through with this, Florent?
Please respect our affairs, Your Majesty of Cuento.
Florent, please. I want to know what you think.
I wish I could play a little longer. But it's all right. It's time for me to become the symbol of Ys Artia. I'm bound to become one with the state. That's been set in stone for a long time. Since the day I was born, even. And when it's done, lots of people are gonna be able to enjoy their lives more and be happier. As long as I can give them a little happiness, mixed in with a touch of fun now and then. Maybe people won't cry anymore. Maybe we can avoid conflict.
So that's the choice you're making? That's the path you're prepared to take?
Yeah. Miss Hariette? Guardian? Fairy Lady? Thanks so much for playing with me today.
Guardian, Sierra, thank you very much for humoring me throughout the day. I'm better now. I can't let a child outdo me in backbone. I'm ready to return to the capital straight away. It's time to get back to rooting out ephemera, the spark that ignites wars, so we can bring peace to the world. And if we can make Florent smile, all the better. It is here where our stage shifts westward of Cuento, to the divine land of Epyk. It is a harsh desert land, with a massive oasis nestled in its center, built upon absolute faith. Here, the divine Queen Margaretta heard reports of the strife in Cuento and its aftermath. Yet these words fell on indifferent ears.
Which brings us to the present, Your Holiness. Cuento will likely only grow in prestige.
Yes, understood. Basically, Cuento conquered Wayland and squashed its own civil war. Right?
An apt summation. Truly, your holiness is blessed with divine acuity. If I may humbly elaborate, the Crown of Cuento has written other leaders, seeking their signatures in pacts to destroy the ephemera.
Who ephemera? Oh yes, those eerie weeds. Why should I concern myself with them? I'm rather sick of all this.
What ails your holiness, exactly?
Look at Cuento hogging all the glory just because they're so ancient. They get a sword maiden and a guardian. But what do we get? I mean, would it kill them to share some of that with us? Look at us! Nothing but desert for miles. Might as well call us the Divine Sand. And whenever anything happens, it's always our god who swoops in and solves everything. No credit to the Queen. I think we need a little drama. Just picture it. The Guardian and the Divine Queen saving Epyk from the throes of crisis. Pure inspiration.
Just so. If it pleases your holiness, might I offer to attempt conjuring that very guardian?
Conjure the Guardian? Can we do that?
Word has it that the Guardian of Cuento is a visitor from a world beyond our own. A might such as that of your holiness, Lady Margaretta, would more than suffice to summon such a being.
Well, consider my interest piqued. I like the way your mind works, priest. I knew kicking that old boar out and bringing you in was the right idea.
Would that I were worthy of such praise, your holiness. I will see to the preparations right away.
And she looked exactly like Xion?
Maybe that person was the first photoner that came into direct contact with Xion.
Without any records, we can't say for sure. But under the circumstances, that seems like a safe assumption.
Especially since she went by the name Clarissa. Hey, second, have you ever heard Clarissa's voice?
Well, only faintly, but I think Xion's voice was what I heard.
She had Xion's voice back in my day, too. She did call herself Clarissa, but I just couldn't sense any aura but Xion's. Then again, Clarissa the White clearly wasn't like other cosmogenic arms.
Do we have any records concerning that?
All scrubbed away by Xion. Which I guess means she either thought we wouldn't be able to track anything down, or that we didn't need to. But getting back to the matter at hand, since things have calmed down on Omega, we should start planning our next move there. It looks like we've got 2 more countries where things need taking care of. Ys Artia and Epyk.
They seem like they'll be more inclined toward having a dialogue than Wayland. Hopefully we can settle things without going to war.
Let's hope Hariette has a knack for diplomacy. But as long as nothing big is going on, I guess our Guardian has a little downtime.
Mate, listen up! We've got trouble! Ys has been snatched!
Well, scratch that about calm. What do you mean she was snatched, Afen? What happened?
I barely get it myself. We were just standing around talking when this weird pattern appeared under her feet and she just disappeared. Aurora's clean vanished too. Where could they have gone?
We'll get searching right away. You start combing the ship, Afen, and get in touch the moment anything turns up.
Roger that.
Now how could Euclita and Aurora disappear so suddenly like that? And why?
Urgent report incoming, Xiao.
Brigida? Why's an operator calling me directly?
It's about an unfolding situation. We suddenly lost contact with Epyk from the Intelligence Bureau.
Meaning what exactly?
I was acting as her navigator when the signal suddenly cut off. However, there's no indication of any anomaly from her logs or our readings on her surroundings.
Understood. We'll focus on finding her. Please let the Intelligence Bureau know. If anything else like this happens, report it directly to me.
Roger. I hope Epyk's all right.
I'm sure she will be. She's strong enough to have returned from a Dark Falz possession.
First Euclida, and now Epyk?
Hey, I finally got through. Sorry to interrupt. Got a minute? Not a damn thing, unfortunately. But it looks like you already knew that. I just got word that we've lost contact with one of our ether users here on Earth.
An ether user? Is it Hitsugi? Cory?
No one you've met, Sierra. Her name's Rina Izumi. You don't know anything about it, do you?
Rina Izumi? Kasra had a report about her. Didn't she become a vessel on Earth for Apprentice?
I'm sorry, Enga, but we haven't seen any sign of her. We'll start looking right away. Can you put together a search on Earth?
Way ahead of you there. I have a feeling this is gonna take a dark turn.
So that brings the tally of the missing to 4. Euclida, Aurora, Epyk, and this Earthling, Rina Izumi. Are you seeing the pattern here? Exactly. All of Apprentice's former hosts have suddenly gone missing. But there's been no sign of activity on Lilipa. The Apprentice we know seems to be under control.
Which means things might not be so quiet on Omega after all.
I think this is the first time events on Omega have interfered so directly with this world.
Guardian, Sierra, keep your wits about you down there.
We are currently preparing special VR training for all ARC's ops to participate in.
Otherworldly visitors like the Guardian? No, I've heard nothing of the sort. Have you, Varuna?
I can only say with confidence that I've heard no such reports from within our borders, Your Highness.
Interesting.
Well, this demands our attention. Send word to make doubly sure.
Beg pardon, Your Highness.
Soldier, where's your sense of decorum?
Apologies, Lord Varuna, but it's urgent. You ought to see...
Move your rusty armor aside, fool! I'll do the talking here!
Who dares?
If you knew, boy, you'd shut your mouth before... You must be Hariette, the Ice Queen of Cuento. Here I was, nervous to meet you. But you're just a regular girl, aren't you? And you must be this Guardian people can't stop yapping about. I demand to know how you plan to fix the mess you've made out of my country! Well?
Please! Let's just all take a deep breath and calm down. May we ask who you are first?
Ugh! What a gallery of ignoramuses! Well, scrape the wax from your foolish ears and listen up! You stand in the presence of Margaretta, the one and only divine queen of Epyk!
You're The Divine Queen Margaretta?
So, basically the biggest authority in all of Epyk.
Now you understand. Very good. I'll just bask in your reverence now.
But why would such a revered figure come all the way to the capital of Cuento without a single escort?
Well, you see... It's all your Guardian's fault! Every last bit of it! Well, essentially, it's not fair! Why does Cuento get a sword maiden and a guardian? Why can't Epyk have a guardian? So all we did was try and conjure up a guardian of our own, and then... we snared 4 people from another world like you, Guardian. But they were a bit scary, and I may have lost control of Epyk.
Lost control? What in the world happened that someone could seize control of your land?
Look, I'm as shocked as you are. More, probably. It was all I could do to evacuate the people to safety. Before I knew it, they were scattered, and we'd been overtaken. I had to flee here.
Wait, 4 of them? Don't tell me.
You Cuento folk invented conjuration in the first place, didn't you? I'd love to hear how you plan to take responsibility.
Beg your pardon, Lady Margaretta, but I need to know. Did you use ephemera at any point?
Ephemera? Those off-putting weeds? What would I sully my fingers with them for? Though I suppose those terrors we conjured may have used them. Wait, that's right! People from Cuento are out to wipe out those weeds, aren't you? When my country gets back to normal, I'll sign your Ephemera Be Gone pact. How's that?
I'm not entirely sure I gather what you're asking, Lady Margaretta.
Someone just do something! Anything!
What shall we do, Your Highness?
I suppose if ephemera are involved, we must give this our full attention. Not to mention the fact that the Queen's state is... dispiriting.
Yes, Your Highness.
Guardian, Sierra, I'll go and see what's happening in Epyk for myself. Would you please accompany me?
Of course we will. It seems like this involves us too, after all.
With Divine Queen Margaretta leading the way, the Guardian and Hariette set off for the western land of Epyk. Nowhere in the border fortress, nor in any villages, were they met with citizens of Epyk. They found only signs of a hasty evacuation. Though the people's swift flight spared them from any great harm, Margaretta lamented the cruel reality that had forced them to abandon their homes. If they could strike the root of the problem, they could eliminate it once and for all, she reasoned. They ventured on until beyond another silent village, they found the desolate expanse of the desert. The Guardian and their party pushed ahead with their advance, seeking the 4 mysterious fiends who had usurped Epyk from its queen.
So this is the desert of Epyk. It's bleak, isn't it?
Epyk began as a realm where the devout gathered. Perhaps the land's unforgiving nature is precisely why.
Exactly. Our ancestors settled here to form a place for strict religious practice. And as people gathered, towns formed, then a country. Behold the divine land of Epyk, the realm at the edge of grace. And who should sit at its peak but I, the divine Queen Margaretta? Somehow I get the feeling you and Grace aren't too well acquainted. Silence! Fairy!
I see no sign of any castrum demonica.
Why would we need those big, dangerous things anywhere but the border? No one would try to invade us anyway. And besides, we'd just be wasting the thin little strip of precious, useful land we've already got. Only an absolute nincompoop or a country as rich in mana and resources as Cuento would go around conjuring those things willy-nilly.
Interesting choice of words. Is Cuento truly rich, I wonder? True, our land has blessed us with abundant resources and mana. But surely the people's hearts need more than that.
Ha! You naive little thing. If a queen cannot be proud, who will? Do you enjoy demoralizing your own people? Take a look around. Do you think I don't know what a dry, barren, poor land Epyk really is? We're rich only in sand and woe. But that's why I give the people something to aspire to. I conduct myself with pride and beauty. If they think, how I long to be like her, then my duty is done. Nothing drives a person like yearning for more.
Does no one resent you for it?
You simpleton. Who can be queen if they spend their time afraid of stirring jealousy? Well, I'll admit, I do get frightened by the idea. But it's out of my control, so I can't waste my time worrying about it. I am queen, and the pride of my people. That much is set in stone. What good is it to worry about what every last little one of my subjects thinks? I guess only someone this arrogant could go and conjure 4 entire people to wreck their country. I said silence, Fairy! If a queen can't show her pride, who can? You there! Wouldn't you agree? What's that?
Lady Margaretta!
Thank you. But what was that? Where did it come from? I don't know. It looked like it came out of nowhere. It's a castrum demonica, and supernaturals are popping up along with it.
How could it spring up with no conjurers around?
Emergency! Code due!
the quest counter to join the mission.
Why did we have to get forced into battle here? Look, the ground's a complete mess.
Maggie?
Excuse me? Maggie? You will address the Divine Queen of Epyk by her full name! Now what do you want?
You're sure that Castrum Demonica wasn't already set up here?
Of course not. Like I said, we only have those things on the border. We can't afford to have them taking up our land.
So that would mean it was just conjured on the spot, right?
You Cuento folk ought to know more about it than me. Just whipping up one without a conjurer around hardly seems like fair play.
Indeed. We have no such technique in Cuento either. Moreover, that castrum just now was odd.
It was suddenly just there, and it didn't give off any signal at all. Conjuration gives off different readings. So it wasn't conjured, and it wasn't set up in advance. Then just how did it appear here?
Oh, enough! However this happened, those four villains are obviously at fault. How dare they treat my realm like some plaything? If you want a problem gone, you take it out by the roots. Don't you agree, Queen of Cuento? It's time to reclaim my land! Quickly!
Right. That's some high and mighty talk for someone who's been standing around doing nothing.
If a divine queen doesn't have license to act high and mighty, who does? Acting high and mighty is the most important job of a monarch. Remember that, Queen of Cuento.
Yes, I'll remember.
I'm gonna be really disappointed if Hariette comes out of this acting like Maggie.
Suddenly, it appeared Epyk was overrun with castrum demonicas, conjured by unknown. Though the populace had fled, they would have no homes or livelihoods to return to if the devilish creations continued to wreak havoc. The Guardians party forged their way deeper into the Divine Land, defeating the castrum demonicas as they went. Their targets, the four beings ruling over the newly quartered Epyk, from fortresses in the north, south, east, and west. As they drew near the eastern fortress, a mighty force gathered to prepare for their arrival. The Guardian pushed on towards this unwelcome meeting, unaware that fate had an unpleasant trick lying yet in store.
Look! That's her! She's one of the 4 villains!
So the Guardian appears, at last.
Kill, 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 kill. Wow is right.
Speechless in the face of my overwhelming might, I see.
Actually, I think we're just completely baffled.
There's no need to fear, Guardian. Rather, you should join me. I would welcome you. Miss Matoy has spoken at length of your skill. To a frankly tiresome degree, I must admit.
Wait! What's going on? How come this Epyk is mixing things about Oracle into the conversation? Epyk's aura is still there, but there's also a Dark Falz-like presence.
Whoever this person is and wherever she comes from, she's most certainly under the influence of ephemera. Don't be hoodwinked by her words.
It seems our negotiations have failed. A pity. If I can't have your allegiance, I suppose I'll have your life.
Enough prattling, usurper! You think I'll let you get away with running roughshod over the divine land of Epyk?
A little heavy on the theatrics there, Maggie.
Come on! Haven't you always wanted to act just once like you're in a real epic tale?
You, so-called ruler of this land. Why would the one who conjured us here now stand on the opposing side? Is this behavior not what you wanted when you summoned us, the Apprentice emissaries?
What I want is for the Guardian to flatten you so badly, you'll have to be scraped from the floors of this fortress!
Hang on! Let's not breeze by that very important point. Are they here to grant your wishes, Maggie?
Look, I'll explain everything later. But if we don't take her out right now, we won't have a later!
Then try your hand against the Apprentice emissary, Epyk, the misunderstood.
You want us to call you that?
It was not my choice, but it will do. Go forth, servant. Show them your true form.
Kill, 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 kill! Kill, kill!
Your Majesty, code due. Completed.
Kill, kill, kill!
Well, you haven't disappointed me, Guardian. You're even more powerful than Miss Matoy said so very many times. But alas for you, I am but a false vessel, nothing next to my fellow emissaries. The brighter a light burns, the deeper the shadow it casts. In the end, you may wish you had fallen here.
Save your breath! No matter what vicious villains you cast our way, I will never abandon my country! my companions, let's move on to the next foe! For the freedom of Epyk!
I think you said something about an explanation, Maggie?
Well, hear me out. We've all heard those stories where a really cool queen frees her country from awful villains and saves the day, haven't we? I thought it'd be nice to create this grand tale of me and the Guardian saving Epyk. Our god always gets credit for solving everything! So I was told, why not conjure up the Guardian and make it all happen? It sounded like a pretty neat idea.
You were told? By whom?
This priest who gave me a lot of good advice. But the second these 4 villains appeared, he up and ran away.
Who's ready to forget this and leave?
No! We can't simply abandon Epyk!
Whatever the cause, Ephemera's influence clearly plagues this land. And how could we leave the people to such a dire fate?
You're right. And I deeply regret what I've done. Deeply and painfully. I thought having a legend or hero would help cheer up my people. But what good are legends when your dinner plate is empty? What a fool I was to even think that way. Shameful, I admit it. So please, help me fix it. I'm begging you.
Please stand up straight, Lady Margaretta. I understand how you feel all too well. Your only mistake was the way you went about your goal. And when you make a mistake, all you can do is try to fix it. Wouldn't you agree, Guardian?
You're right. We can't really turn our backs when the profound darkness is involved. And Maggie seems genuinely sorry.
Oh, Queen Hariette! Guardian! Even you, Fairy! All of you are far too pure! Oh, I worry you'll be taken advantage of!
I think it's a little late and deeply ironic for you to say that. But with this pair of softies in charge, I suppose that's that.
Shuddering to see a friend brought so low, the Guardian defeated Epyk the Misunderstood, the first of the Apprentice emissaries. With this accomplished, the journey continued. The party forged on to the northern fortress and its waiting emissary, routing Castrum Demonicus along the way. But despite the success, their footsteps fell heavily. More than even the might of the foes awaiting them, they dreaded the sight of another friend, reduced to a dark vessel. They were no strangers to war and bloodshed, but no blade is as heavy as one raised against a friend.
Look who's here. Guess this means Epyk's already fallen.
Well, congratulations on defeating the weakest of the 4 of us. I'm afraid you'll find me a notch or two stronger than she was, to say the very least. Are you ready for a real fight this time? Now, take a good look at your tomb, and at me, your Undertaker, the Apprentice Emissary, Rena the Forsaken!
Yes! Now this is what I'm talking about! These crackling confrontations! A bit cliche, maybe, but they make your heart pound! Well, I found a visual... Rena Izumi, the Earthling Enga said went missing. But I just can't believe she's anywhere near this dumb in real life. This has to be Maggie's fault. Go on, flaunt your strength all you like! But that strength is crippled by your arrogance!
What?
Real strength lies in the bonds between friends! Your defeat was written from the moment you decided to face us all on your lonesome!
What makes you so sure I'm by myself? Do you think I lack companions? Well, you're dead wrong!
Ha! Just drop the posturing already! I know all about your companions! When you were summoned, I saw all 3 of them make for the door while you were still working up the courage to even talk to them!
Silence! Hold your lying tongue or I'll take it from you!
I think I've seen all I can take. We'd be doing Rena a favor by beating her as fast as we can.
Defeat me? A fine delusion. You'll die regretting that you ever provoked me! Sora!
You've left yourself open! I suppose I was the one with more to learn.
Emergency! Code!
No! Not Sora! Please, don't take my imaginary friend from me!
You may have been strong, but that strength is founded in all the wrong reasons!
Wrong reasons? You mean, was I wrong to try and escape into a virtual world?
True strength isn't the kind you seek to defeat someone. It's what you seek to protect them. You only believed you'd grown strong because you'd been fighting so long on your own.
Your words carry the sting of truth, as does the outcome of this battle. I see now the folly of my ways. At least, here at the end of things, my eyes are finally open. Thank you, Guardian. The next time I'm summoned, I'll be brave and call out to my friend.
The poor girl. Even if she were summoned again, she wouldn't remember a thing. I think it'd be a lot worse if she did remember.
Guardian? I really don't know what to make of what they've been saying. Do you?
Oh, come on! What's more touching than coming to an understanding with your defeated foe? Says the one who didn't do any of the defeating. I could definitely had it bad, but I'm sure this was really tough on Rena, too.
With Rena the Forsaken gone, the Guardians' party had bested 2 Apprentice emissaries and reclaimed half of Epyk. They marched onward. all too aware that 2 more of their friends lay ahead of them in wait. What strength would they wield? And more chillingly, what evil had crept over them? The Guardian's fears were twofold as the party pressed on toward the South Fortress. Awaiting them was a fiend so changed as to defy recognition as the friend they had once known.
I suppose I ought to compliment you for making it this far.
This one's an entire world apart from the 2 we've faced so far!
Huh. Don't insult me by naming me in the same breath as those other emissaries. They're mere trainees compared to me. Can you hear the wind singing? It sings the lonesome dirge of your funeral.
Now this is just cruel! Can you imagine what Othin would say if he saw this?
Othin? My head!
Wait, look at her! Could it be she's merely being used as a puppet? Gee, I don't know, Maggie. Do we know anyone who maybe wished for that to happen?
Oh my, Euclita! Seems like you're struggling just a tad behind all that tough talk.
Be quiet! Why in the world are you even here, Apprentice Emissary Aurora the Timid?
Come on now. Is that any way to talk to your fellow emissary? Euclita the Obstinate? I just thought I'd stop by and give you a hand, since our friends here have probably had just about enough.
Are you all just down for anything that falls in your laps?
Having me on your side is as good as having 100 of anyone else. Let's wipe the floor with them, Euclita.
Way ahead of you. Entrance us, Sky Dancer Aurora!
Now she's got a cosmogenic arm? We can dissect how weird this is later. Here she comes.
Nice try! Well, I expected no less from the one who took down the 2 other apprentice emissaries. But I doubt you expected this!
Ow! What's going on? That hurt so much! Is this actually happening? I could have sworn this was just a really weird dream!
What are you doing, Aurora? This is absolutely not the time! Get back into weapon form!
But that really, really hurt! Wait. Oh, jeez, Euclita? Did you get turned into a Dark Falz again?
Wait! How did Aurora turn back to normal? Could your power have done this? Now try Euclita!
What's happening? Where is this? What are we doing here in some fortress? Aurora, what did you do this time?
What makes you think I did something? I thought I was just having some weird dream, and then all of a sudden I woke up in searing pain. Wait, if this isn't a dream, where could we possibly be?
I can't tell you how relieved I am to see you two back to normal.
Sierra, is that you? Why are you so small? And what do you mean, back to normal? Was something manipulating us?
Oh, right. There's a lot of explaining to do. Wait, so no more fighting? Did we persuade them to join us? Oh, rain on my parade, why don't you? If you're hoping to fight, Maggie, we can certainly oblige. Well, how nice to solve everything without bloodshed for once. And that they're back to their senses. What a peaceful resolution.
Who's this kid? She looks like an idiot.
Excuse me? How dare you impugn my intelligence? And of all things, you dare call me idiot, the name I hate most of all!
Wow! Impugn? Look at you, using hard words like a big girl.
You watch who you talk down to, especially when you look barely out of swaddling clothes yourself, you little brat!
Oh! You've got some nerve calling the captivatingly, despairingly, inducingly beautiful Aurora a brat!
Yeah? Wanna know what it's like to fight a divine queen, brat?
Ha! Well, take your divine pride and swallow it! You're in the presence of a goddess of beauty, an actual divine being!
Ouch! You dare! The height of disrespect!
Your bickering wouldn't be so grating if the two of you weren't just as bad as the other. Look, I think we could all finally use a little explanation. What's going on? So all four of us former apprentice hosts were summoned here. Everything about this world is a little too hard to believe normally, but after what we've been through, how could we doubt it? Tell me about this arrogant child who summoned the four apprentice vessels.
Well, if you asked me before, I would have bet she was pretty strongly connected to Aurora in some way. Or maybe was Aurora herself.
An understandable misconception. I was the original apprentice, after all. But it should be pretty clear by now that that's not true. Lest you forget, I don't associate with idiots.
Here you go again! How many times do I have to tell you that I am a queen and I command respect?
Just can it, dummy! How else are you supposed to tell an idiot they're an idiot? They're too dumb to get it if you sugarcoat it!
It's like watching someone fight a mirror.
I suppose like repels like sometimes. Maybe they're both connected to Apprentice because they're similar after all. Anyway, how are we supposed to get back to the Ark's ship?
Oh, good question. When we defeated the other two, it released them, and they returned to their original worlds without having to do anything.
What? So we have to let them beat us up? I don't know about you, but that's not really my cup of tea.
Interesting. Who was that again who once upon a time told me, the more it hurts, the closer I come to salvation?
Hush, Yuklita! Why doesn't Queen Numbskull, who summoned us, do something to send us back?
How am I supposed to know how to send you back? I barely even understand how you were brought here in the first place.
You might not want to use your stupidity as a defense.
All right, you two. Let's settle down. If you were brought here using a summoning circle, we should be able to use the same circle to send you back.
Then we need to go to my palace. Let's get back right away. Oh, and I can finally recall the evacuation order.
Peace crept back over Epyk at last, as the Guardian loosened the grip that the Apprentice emissaries had upon the land. In advance of her triumphant return, Divine Queen Margaretta called off the evacuation of her people. The people began to return in droves to the capital upon the oasis. The Guardian's party approached the seat of Margaretta's power, following a wave of returners. Finally, they arrived at the city, pulsing with life and heat in the heart of the desert.
At last! We're nearly back to my dear old palace. And look! Everyone's coming right back! My virtuous deeds have worked wonders. I've come back to you at last, my dear subjects! Witness the triumphant return of your divine queen, Margaretta!
Hey, out of the way! Coming through with heavy bags here!
Look at how bad the ground dried out in just a few days! Oh, my crops are done for! Damn it! It feels like this place wants us to suffer.
Yeah, quit whining. How are we supposed to test our faith if we don't suffer?
Does the queen usually get ignored, Maggie? Oh, this is fine. Why should I be upset that they're working so intently they don't even notice me? That just means they're getting back to their everyday lives.
Whoa! Little Margaretta, I almost tripped right over you. Sure you're getting enough to eat? Well, not that I can raise anything bigger than you. Look what poor little dead crops I came back to after that evacuation.
Looks like you made our god angry trying to raise them too big. Grow some nice plain ones so you'll have plenty to give the tax collector.
Well now, Lady Margaretta, back to stick your fingers in more pies, are you?
Too right I am! And I'll keep coming back to give you a divine scolding if you don't show a little more respect.
Hey, it's Queen Margaretta! Quick, you better run or she's gonna point the finger at you next!
Ha! There's no use running. I've already pointed at you 1,000,000 times, but I moved too fast for you to see. And there she goes, competing with children. Look at how they all tease her. Is she really the queen of these parts?
I suspect this is just Lady Margaretta's way of connecting with her people. You can see that they're all working so hard. But they all have such bright looks in their eyes. Not a single downcast face.
Good grief. You'd never all this disrespect. Looks like a tax hike is in order. That's enough of my time wasted here anyway. Let's move on to my palace.
May I ask you something, Lady Margaretta? Do you love this land?
Oh, I can't stand it! She didn't even blink! The crops never come in right, it's dry as a bone and hot as an oven, the wind won't give you a break. Need I go on? But, well, I am the queen after all. I can call it the pits all I like, but it's still my country. It's a part of me. Not to mention, you can't just sit back and watch people treat your property like a toy, can you? After all, I'm the Divine Queen. Epyk is no one's toy but mine.
Hey, we resent that, Lady Margaretta. This land belongs to our god, and to we the people!
Quit eavesdropping, peasant! If I say it's mine, it's mine! Less yapping, more bootstrapping! Well, you certainly did make it into your toy, which is exactly how you ended up summoning those four and wrecking the place. Enough of your needling. The people of Epyk aren't so weak as to break over a trifling thing like this.
Lest you forget, you're at the heart of the realm at the edge of grace, in the city of the strong of will. There's no changing the past. I've put it behind me, so what's left but to hold my head high and smile? It's a ruler's job to be proud. If I smile, then so will my people.
Compared to Cuento, this castle certainly has, well, character?
Unlike the good people of Cuento, we don't have the materials to waste on building a plush palace like that. After it became my turn on the throne, I had a bunch of people with absolutely nothing to do build this. Show a little respect!
Welcome back, Your Holiness Queen Margaretta. At long last.
Wait, aren't you?
How, if I may humbly ask, did Your Holiness enjoy the diversions I so painstakingly arranged? I confess, I did not expect Your Holiness would so quickly seek aid of Cuento, much less that Cuento would oblige.
Were you again?
How could you forget your own priest? The one who taught you the art of conjuration to begin with!
Huh, I thought so. That Your Holiness talk never sat right on your tongue, did it? Let me tell you, your cover leaves much to be desired. How moronic. You really thought I forgot you? Do you think gods are known for letting betrayers off lightly? All I've forgotten is your name.
It's impossible to tell when you're being cunning and when you're just being idiotic. Though to be honest, that only adds to the fun.
It's you, the one from Wayland.
And? Why did you come back? To wave the white flag?
Oh, hardly. Just here to do my best to stave off an anticlimax.
In other words, you plan to keep up your evil tricks, right here in the palace of the divine Queen Margaretta. You must have forgotten that here in this place, I can do absolutely anything I want. I, Margaretta of Epyk, hereby command you to die. Dinner time! What was that? The divine might of Epyk. The power of miracles given shape and passed down for generations. Unfortunately, we can only use it here. And honestly, it's kind of gross and I hate it.
So you could have been safe all along if you just stayed here?
What good is it if I'm safe when the rest of my country is in danger? Anyway, let's get you two on your way back. Now that they're here, all we have to do is send them back the way they came.
Yes. That should do it.
All right, you two, step on up. Oh, don't worry. I can't do that thing again unless you start blaspheming. All right then, time to get started.
Now you've done it, you imbecile!
What's happening?
Is that ephemera?
You let your guard down, Divine Queen Margaretta. I told you I was here to prevent an anticlimax. You killing me was the last step that was needed. Now I can take over this place. All that's left is to offer your body to your own god, to become a vessel for these factors.
Damn it! I can't! Fine! You leave me no choice! You two, go back where you came from!
I'm disappearing.
Wait 1 second, Queen Numbskull. Don't worry about us. Worry about your own stupid hide, idiots.
Show some respect if you don't want to die!
It's my duty as queen to send you back! Now stop dragging your feet and go!
Lady Margaretta!
Stay back, Queen of Cuento! You can't help me! It's too late for anyone to stop this now! I'm going to give in, just for a little while. Guardian, it'll be up to you to save me. What story could be more heroic than that?
It's a little late to be thinking of stories.
Quiet, Fairy! Can't you let a poor, terrified queen have her one little moment of bravado? Look, I don't know what this thing will do to me if I try and fight it. So I'll give in. But only if you promise you'll save me! Please!
Well now, what a pleasant change. At last, a slightly more grown body. The type of vessel I've sought for so long.
There's no doubt about it. The signals match perfectly. It's Dark Falz Apprentice.
Oh my! Look at this delightful little set of toys just waiting for my arrival. I don't suppose you're here to help me break in this magnificent vessel I've waited so long for.
Wait, I'm getting Apprentice's readings, but her stats are something else altogether. If we're up against Apprentice with every ounce of Maggie's miracle powers, I'm not too sure about our odds.
Well said, Guardian. We must save Lady Margaretta.
I beg your pardon? What does a brat barely out of diapers know next to the incarnation of beauty itself?
Just stop talking! You sound like my stuffy old ancestors! Take those words out of my mouth!
I won't trade barbs with a mere vessel. Learn your place.
My place is the throne of Epyk! Is this really what I'm like now? Am I this thick-skulled? You just keep your trap shut and get ready for the Guardian to stomp you right into the floor! For the world, for my people, for my country, for our God, and above all for my own sake!
Wow. I guess only Maggie could get possessed and still be able to throw fits like this.
Obviously! Who do you think you're dealing with? Margaretta, the Divine Queen! No one gets away with wielding our God's power and toying with our country! No one but me, that is! All that aside, I refuse to accept that this is how awful my fashion sense will be from now on! Hurry up and get her, Guardian! Smash her into tiny bits! I know I do!
Are you quite done pretending like I'm not here?
Your Majesty, code due.
The large-scale operation has ended. Thank you for your support.
Completed.
really beautiful form!
It looks... If we can just separate the Dark Falz and save Maggie...
Wait! Get back, Guardian! Hurry!
Whoa! What's this darkness seeping up from the ground? Was she keeping this power hidden?
No, something isn't right here.
What is this? You mean to steal me away?
I'm getting ephemera readings! It's an F-factor outburst! How do we save Maggie if we can't even get close?
If there were a path open, you could save her, right?
Hariette, what are...
Guardian, I'll open the way. The rest is up to you. If all of this stems from ephemera, let it find the vessel it seeks in me!
Oh no. I just can't take this. Is this really what's in store for me?
Oh, enough of your moping. This is exactly what you're going to look like in a few years, so you better sear the image into your eyes now.
Stop that at once! How disrespectful! You've got no sense of fashion, you're arrogant, and you're disrespectful! You're beyond all help!
You're right. We can settle this another time.
I am Dark Falz Apprentice. I am what this girl could have become. I am who she would be if she remained an apprentice vessel and did anything and everything she wished. I would have already vanished when I lost my vessel, and you cut me down except...
Well, what was I supposed to do? You may be the queen of overdoing it, but you're still me. And yet, I just can't really accept the idea of being a host until I fade away.
Indeed. The idea of simply being used is far from what I prefer. Ah, Margaretta, in case this hasn't crossed your mind, were I to return to inhabiting your body, I would regain control as before.
Then what was the point of all this? Isn't there anything we can do?
She can go with you? Is that something you can even do, Guardian?
To be frank, I don't believe that idea sits well with the two of us either. There's something about you that goes beyond just unusual. Like that girl back in the palace. What granted you these abilities? I suppose we haven't much choice. Time for you to hurry back where you came from, Margaretta. If you don't get moving, your body and soul could become unglued forever, and you'd have nowhere to go.
Before I go, just answer me this one question.
What's on your mind?
What is it you think I still need?
Who's to say? You'll have to decipher that yourself, little one. What? Don't delude yourself into thinking I'm worried about her. I have my own goal in mind, to find the villain who tried to use me and crush him into dust. All that mattered to me was which would be more effective, taking over that young girl's body or working with you. Read nothing else into it. Watch your mouth! You do remember who you're speaking to, don't you? We don't need to get along. We only need to take my power with your body and put them together so we get what we want. Nothing more. You understand, I take it? Ugh, I grow weary of this chatter. You two, get back where you belong.
Yes, I'm fine.
She looks like she's gone back to normal. But the other people who've been possessed, well...
Yes. I remember vividly how the light enveloped Luther and took him away.
I knew it! Lady Margaretta!
No! You can't just leave us behind like this! Just talk to us one more time! Show us the arrogant Maggie we know! Huh? Whoa! Oh, wait a second! Are you going to breathe life back into her?
Is that something you can even do?
What the hell are you doing? I mean, what are you... Oops. Well, good morning, everyone. Don't mind me. Just going to wash my face. What was all that for? A queen can't play a little harmless prank? You all need to find a sense of humor.
There's a line, Maggie, and you jumped right over it. You even brought magic into it. To think we wasted tears on you.
Come on, I was never going to die. I'm the Divine Queen, our god's worldly proxy. How could I die without divine permission? Besides, how many times have I said I don't need anyone to cry over me? It'd be far better to laugh instead.
I suppose I'm glad you played that joke on us. After all, it meant we got to see you again, Lady Margaretta.
Oh, I see. Now you threw me off kilter. Well, I guess I could try some more queenly behavior. Gods are only gods if you respect and have faith in them, after all. Guardian, Lady Sierra, Lady Hariette, Queen of Cuento. In Epyk's time of need, you three non-believers shed blood and sweat for us, like our god's own messengers. You have my deepest, truest thanks. See? I can hold a royal court with the best of them!
Wow. Well, that little coda just now certainly reminds me you're still you, Maggie.
Explain that remark, Fairy!
It means most of the time you act like there's not a royal bone in your body.
You take that back!
Well, I knew anything at all could happen when I went diving in there. But it's odd. I don't feel the least bit out of sorts. In fact, I think I feel fine. I'm more concerned about where that shadow that overtook Lady Margaretta has gone.
All I can say is I don't feel it anywhere nearby. But as strong as it is, I'm sure it's going to reform somewhere else. I've still got a bad feeling about where this is going. I need to heighten my guard. So much to do. Look at me, right back to work the moment I get home. I almost forgot. After all we've been through together, I'm sure you'd both like to help, Guardian and Queen Hariette. Yes?
Pull yourself together, Aurora. What happened to you being a so-called goddess of beauty? Is this the way a goddess behaves?
Even goddesses can be affected by things such as this, you brute. Besides, I'm not the type of lady to cling to my past glory forever.
Well, what a wonderful improvement.
What are you two doing? Something seems weird here, for lack of a better word.
Our ex-goddess here seems to have smelled something strange, hence this pretending to be a bloodhound. Any idea what it could be?
Oh no! I'm sure neither of us has any idea.
Aha! I was right! Something about you smells extremely fishy indeed.
Are you sure? I don't detect any emissions from them that would give off any strange odors.
You might want to do a proper checkup then. I guarantee that something's amiss. My woman's intuition is spot on.
Oh, so this is just some intuition thing. Can you describe the feeling at all?
It was familiar, but in a scary way?
I guess goddesses have really sharp noses.
Give it a rest, Euclita. I'm just calling it like I sensed it.
Well, if you just sensed this, then what did you need to go sniffing around making a fool out of yourself for?
Look, it felt like it heightened my senses.
Wow! Aren't we blessed to have Odora, goddess of bouquet, gracing our ship with her presence?
All right, Euclita, now you've crossed the line. Also, that wasn't funny and no one laughed.
So what exactly do you think Aurora found so familiar, yet scary? That's definitely plausible, but the Photoners would be familiar to Aurora too. I guess Aurora herself is a being of photons too. I'm sure she has some connection to that other world.
Oh, hello!
Good day, mate. Matoy and I were just shooting the breeze. Come here, let's chat about the good old days.
It's nice to have the three of us together again after so long.
Hard to believe it's just been 3 years since our certification mission. With all that's happened, right?
Is it? I remember you two saving me like it was yesterday. And then we got mixed up in things with Shion. And of course, I had my own problems. Those memories are here to stay.
Can't believe I got mixed up in all this when I only joined ARCS with the intention of finding Yusi. It's been a ride, I'll tell you that. But just think. First Yusi was a Dark Falz, then you, Matoi. And even you were getting close, mate. Kind of odd how I'm the common thread here, ain't it? Think I jinxed you all?
Don't talk like that often. And look, Euclida returned to us in one piece, right?
She sure did. Thanks to a certain someone.
Yes. I have you to thank for my safe return, too.
Cut the modesty, mate. We owe you boatloads. And believe you me, I aim to pay you back. I'll help you out full throttle with whatever you set your mind to. For whatever that's worth. Still, mate, you sure shot up the ARC's ladder quick, considering we joined in the same batch. Just 2 clowns with our sights set high. Quite the crew we make, eh? The mighty Guardian and their friend, the dime a dozen operative.
Well, whatever titles they put on us, we're still the same people we've always been, and it doesn't change our memories together. Oh, speaking of memories, you remember that time we all showed off our singing voices, don't you?
Ha, right! When Kasra hoodwinked us and we all crowded in together in a big group. You weren't even a proper ARCSOP yet back then, right, Matoi?
Not yet. It was right in the middle of all the examinations and tests I had to take. Now that was one of the funniest things I can remember in my time here. Seeing everyone all thronged together like that.
Right! And remember what a crooner Theodore turned out to be at singing? Ask him for a bar or two next time, mate.
Ah, perfect timing. I was just about to call you.
Can we get this over with already? I've got 1,000,001 things to tend to in general affairs. What's so important that you need both Guardians in here anyway?
Well, making a plan to save the world, essentially. Isn't that right? Quick question first, Sarah. Can you tell me how many people are in this room?
Huh? Well, the 2 Guardians, you and Sierra makes 4. What, is Kuna hiding out in here somewhere? Please tell me there's a point to all of this.
I guess not. Just wanted to see your smiling face.
What?
Oh, Sarah. Glad to see you're still your adorable little self.
Don't be gross. And if you want to hide something, try to change the subject a little less blatantly.
Well, it's just that...
Oh, it's fine. I guess you're just not ready to tell me yet. But I hope it happens sometime soon.
Level-headed as always, Sarah. You can tell we must be linked.
I'll take the compliment, but you can keep the comparison, thanks. But really, if you get these 2 in over their heads, you'll answer to me. You 2 had better not shirk on those regular medical checkups. Philia's pretty steamed you haven't been showing up.
Right. Sorry.
Tell it to Philia, not me. See you around.
How come Sarah couldn't see you, even though she and Xiao are linked? Well, It's hard to say what exactly determines whether someone can see me. Xiao and Sierra can see me because they're basically derived straight from Xion. And so can the two of you.
But I guess just being linked to Xiao wasn't enough to let Sarah see you.
I figured it would work because your bond with Xion was similar to my photon link with Sarah. But no dice. I guess you have some kind of stronger link than that. Some element of Xion must still be alive inside the two of you. That must be the reason why you can see Alma.
Well, here's how I choose to look at it. Thanks to your connections to Xion, I get to talk with all four of you, right? We can worry about the ins and outs of it later. For now, I'm just grateful. I'd be much lonelier without the four of you to talk to.
Hey there. Hard at work as always, I see.
Why don't you try working for once? You're supposed to be training recruits, big bad instructor man.
What can I do? Regius and Maria are so gung-ho, I don't have a chance to train anybody.
Uh-oh. Did Maria sneak back into the training bureau to get away from general affairs? I'll bet Sarah is furious.
Sierra? Aren't you supposed to be manning the bridge?
I'm fine. One thing led to another, and I scored clearance to wander the ship.
Now that I think about it, you always call into our command meetings instead of showing up, Sierra.
What bothers me more is how you suddenly started attending all our meetings.
Because you don't take notes. Consider me your bona fide secretary, mister.
Being here face to face makes you realize things.
Like what?
Zeno, Echo, why haven't you two gotten married yet? See? Everyone's been thinking it. Now that I see you together, it's so obvious.
Hold on now. Marriage is... Sierra, this isn't something to just rush into.
The way you two act together, you're practically there already.
But listen, timing, planning, and commitment are very important when making these kinds of big decisions.
What the hell? Want to get married?
What?
You don't want to, Echo?
No. That's not it. I mean, is that what you want? Getting married to me?
Jeez, where'd all your confidence go? Who would I marry other than you? Are you sure you want this? I might end up being a big jerk with your assignments.
You already are.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Okay then, let's go get the papers signed before you change your mind.
Sheesh, I don't change my mind that easy. Well, take it easy, you two. Oh, and thanks, Sierra.
Oh my gosh, did I just get them into a huge mess? Just seeing that spark between them, I had no choice but to speak up. Oh my gosh, I'm really getting embarrassed now. I just witnessed something completely mind-blowing.
This just in. I've got breaking news. Recent reports haven't been as accurate as we'd like, but we have a stellar announcement. It's about that couple everyone hoped would hurry up and make a move for so long. You guessed it! Zeno and Echo! They're finally getting married! Hey, why isn't your jaw on the floor?
They already knew about it. Usually, marriage isn't that newsworthy, but those two are different, especially with Zeno on the Council of Six.
The hottest couple around is finally taking that. Makes my job worth it.
With arcs so focused on fighting, we tend to forget about family life, so this is pretty significant.
Moments like these make you stop and think, someday I'll find that special someone, and oh, I'm super jealous!
You want to get married someday?
Of course! I'm an old-fashioned girl. Walking down the aisle's my dream. Potential grooms, get grooming!
Who exactly are you talking to?
Tia acts like she doesn't care, but when she was a young girl, she dreamed of hearing those wedding bells ringing too.
That was between us, you jerk!
And that concludes another episode of Tia's Innermost Secrets. I'm your host, Patty, signing off.
I guess I'd better get going too, so... Listen up, dumbass! Tell another soul about that, and you will wish you never knew me!
Wow. Marriage, huh? It sounds so romantic. Hi there! I was really spacing out! Caught up in a little daydream. You heard the news, right? About Zeno and Echo tying the knot? I've heard rumors about them forever, but now that it's actually happening, I just get chills all over! It's that kind of fairy tale ending that makes everyone toasty inside. I mean, I'd like to get married too someday, but that's a long way down the road. First, I'm gonna work my butt off to win everyone's approval. And then, I'll meet the love of my life. Oh my gosh! Going off on a tangent again! Pretend you never heard that. I am 100% dedicated to the hero business, and that's it! Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, hi, boss. You heard the news, right? About Zeno and Echo getting married? Do you ever wish you could just meet someone like that? I mean, I know you and Matoi are close, but, you know, in general. Me? Well, I don't know. When I heard the news, it seemed like Zeno and Echo were suddenly off in their own world, away from us. When I was little, I'd think about it all the time. I mean, what it would be like to spend my life with someone. But I'm kind of a social misfit. I've never had a relationship with anyone, and probably never will. The excuse I always use is that I fight for arcs, so I don't have time for that stuff. But instead of feeling happy for them, I was actually really jealous at first. Isn't that awful of me? Really? So I'm not the only one then. That makes me feel a lot better. But I am really happy for them. It's something to celebrate, since Zeno and Echo have always been there for me. Maybe I should use that jealousy as motivation to find the right person, to make me as happy as they are. That special person seems to be in high demand, though. Kinda hurts my chances.
I can't do this! Sorry, Echo, but you go tell her.
Why does your courage dissolve into thin air at a time like this?
Hey, you! What are we up to? Just, spreading the good news.
We just told Afen and Matoi.
We thought they'd be floored by it, but they didn't seem all that surprised.
They did wish us well, though.
Anyway, we thought it would be polite to tell everyone directly, but... I don't know if it would sit well with her.
She goes by Milrandia now, but I still think it's weighing on her.
Ooh, we can't just sit back and let someone else tell her, though. This is tough.
We just have to suck it up and tell her. It's not like we've done anything wrong, so it's time to be bold.
I know. Sheesh. Go on, Echo. Break it to her.
No way, we do this together.
If Dia sees me, it'll just remind her of Gedemholt. You honestly think we can tell her under those circumstances?
Well, it's no different if I go. Think of the awkwardness.
Sorry, you two. What actually hurts my feelings is watching you go back and forth like that.
Whoa!
Milrandia! How long were you standing there?
You were bickering so loudly, I think everyone here noticed. There's something you wanted to tell me? Does it have something to do with you getting married?
Oh my gosh, how did you know?
I think the real question is, what took you so long? It's about time. It really is. If Master Gedemholt were here, he'd probably say something along the lines of, grow a pair, you two.
Yeah, that's the first thing he'd say for sure.
Then I can totally see Zeno getting all riled up.
I know it's impossible for me to get you to stop thinking about Master Gedemholt. So instead, I'll ask you to never forget him. He'll always be with us if we keep him in our hearts. Zeno and Echo, congratulations on tying the knot.
Yeah, thanks, Dia.
Thank you, Milrandia.
You think I can't hear you? Time to grow a pair, you pansies.
Oh, Epyk!
Hello. I'm told I gave you two a great deal of trouble. My apologies.
Oh, don't worry about it. You got dragged into it unwillingly in the first place. Are you okay?
I have undergone a medical checkup and received a clean bill of health. I just have this lingering feeling of having been trapped in a long nightmare. The shame I felt over what happened in that dream makes me relieved to not remember what actually happened. And if I did remember, I wouldn't want to discuss it, much less ever experience it again.
You know what? Forgetting all about it sounds great. You didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, wait. How much do you two know about what happened? Why? Why does that sound so familiar? And why does my face flush just from hearing it?
Incoming transmission from Anga? Hello, Sierra here. To what do we owe the pleasure, Anga?
Hey, Sierra. Oh, and you're here too. Perfect. I got some good news, for once. Rina Izumi's been found. Her memories of the whole episode are fuzzy, but she's not hurt. Doing kinda surprisingly well, actually. She wants to talk to the two of you. Mind if I put her through?
Oh, of course not. She knows about ARCs already, from what I gather, so that should be fine.
I owe you big time, Sierra. Here she is.
Hello. It's me, Rina Izumi. I just wanted to apologize for everything.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you, Rina.
I can't remember what happened all that well. Could you fill me in? I didn't do anything really terrible, did I?
Well, terrible is subjective. Do you have a general sense of what happened?
Well, somewhat. Just a sense that I said some very revealing, pretty embarrassing things.
Uh-huh. Yes. Well, that part's real.
Wait, so you do know? Please, tell me! What exactly did I say? Forsaken. Lonesome. Oh no, it's starting to come back to me!
No, don't think too hard about it. You only just got back from having disappeared. Just take it easy for now. Don't try and remember, and give your body and mind some rest, especially your mind.
Well, I won't be able to rest my mind now.
Good day, mate. Thanks to you, Yusi and Aurora made it back safe. Appreciate you. They won't tell me where they went, though. Or what happened while they were gone. It's the only topic that little blabbermouth Aurora won't touch. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're back. Just, I'm a little concerned. You saved them, didn't you, mate? I figured you'd know something.
Often, there are some things you don't need to know.
Trying to expose a young maiden's secrets? How utterly tactless.
Oh, come on, guys. Why keep such a tight lid on things?
Because it doesn't concern you.
little cruel, considering how much you care. But I agree with you, Clita, on this one. Often, you have things of your own you'd prefer not to remember, yes? This is no different. It's all terribly embarrassing, you see.
Aurora, zip your lip! You gotta keep everything that happened over there secret too, you know?
Something embarrassing? But you can't dangle that in front of me and expect me not to be curious.
Lady Margaretta, are you sure it's wise for us to be doing this?
Of course it is! Going for walks is part of any respectable monarch's job. I wasn't able to show you around much when you first got back, so now's our chance.
Oh my, if it isn't Lady Margaretta! Back again, are you? Still no crops to show, I'm afraid.
You think I don't know that? I'm just showing a friend around.
Lady Margaretta? You found a friend?
Oh, poor thing. How could such a tragedy come to pass?
Be strong.
Sucks to be you.
Simpletons! I'm standing right here, you know!
It's just, is someone like you with a friend?
Lady Margaretta, can you believe it? You've made a friend. You. Haughtiness personified.
Skipping straight to the insults, eh? Although, if you went back in time and told me I made a friend, I wouldn't believe it either.
And who is this so-called friend of yours?
She is Hariette, the new ruler of Cuento. Even ill-informed rabble like yourselves have heard of the Ice Queen, have you not?
Ah, that I have. The cruel-hearted monarch of Cuento.
But what makes her an Ice Queen? Are you chilly, ma'am?
Well, I believe it may be referring to some aspect of my personality, or my bearing, perhaps.
You don't seem very icy to me.
Wish she could cool us off. This land is just too danged hot, if you ask me.
You're Lady Margaretta's friend? Yes? No one with such a warm heart deserves to be called an Ice Queen.
Huh?
Yeah, if you're the Ice Queen, we need a whole slew of words to describe Lady Margaretta.
You're so right. We'd be busy till sundown.
Silence, simpletons! Can't you see Hariette is troubled? Be gone at once! I swear, I have the most disrespectful subjects in all the land. But I can see where they're coming from.
What do you mean?
They call you the Ice Queen, so even I was cautious at first. But when I met you, I realized you're the warmest person I know, Hariette. Even my simpleton subjects recognized that about you right away. They all felt at ease talking to you.
You think so?
I do. Whatever imbecile decided to start calling you Ice Queen is an awful judge of character.
Lady Margaretta.
What is it, Hariette?
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
What brought this on? Well, whatever. I humbly accept your gratitude. You're welcome, Hariette.
Well now, a new companion decides to drop in unannounced, and without even a word of greeting. No manners whatsoever.
Ah, Luther. I was just thinking I smelled something vile. I suppose our final passenger is Elder's vessel?
Ah, yes, our distasteful cohabitant. It defies common sense so terribly as to negate it altogether. What kind of space is this for us? Ah, begging your pardon. I had no aim to incur the displeasure of our good host. Goodness, though. I see you're as shiftless as ever.
That's rich. You've been freeloading here much longer than I have. What happened? Didn't you lose interest in the world once you couldn't have the Akashic records?
In short, yes. With Xion gone from this world, it has all but lost access to the records as well. But as to why I am here specifically, well, I should think the reason would be self-evident.
Planning to use this one for your own ends, are you?
Oh, I think I smell danger. Could it be you feel indebted to our host because they saved your past self?
Nothing of the sort. I'm just showing them my disgust that they'd partner with someone whose true intent they don't know.
But it's not so one-sided as you make it sound. It's an equivalent exchange. I lend my power in return for knowledge.
Hey, you hear that? This fool says these things, and you don't feel an urge to expel him?
Cease the false accusations, would you? I'm here. Nothing more. Apprentice. I believe parasite is the perfect way to describe this. A future defying even Xion's prognostications, and we get to observe it.
Getting desperate, Luther? Hardly surprising, considering how far you've fallen.
I can't help it. I'm very particular about appearances, a trait I believe we share. Why don't you just admit that you've grown fond of your host?
Don't be stupid! I'm only here out of necessity. Inevitable, unavoidable necessity. I'm not Apprentice anymore. My name is Margaretta, and you do well to remember it, Luther.
Well, you certainly do seem quite a bit younger than the Apprentice I know. I suppose that would make you easier to deal with. How frightening. Honestly, I do plan on respecting the wishes of my host. And her, of course.
What are you reading, Noma?
Whoa! Oh, just nothing. Think I'll go have a nice relaxing float around outside.
Huh. Well, there she goes. What do you think she was looking at? I can can just feel the curiosity seeping out of your bones.
Whoa! Sierra?
Just what could have piqued the interest of the legendary First Claris Craze, better known to us as Alma? Well, I just so happen to have access to her browsing history. And just say the word.
Sierra. Take it easy, okay?
You can't just take it easy on violating someone's privacy. Stop her, Xiao. And Sierra, at least give it a second before you start snooping. Oh, wow. Regius and Maria's deployment records?
Can't we do something about this, Xiao?
There are some things even I can't do. Like putting the Akashic records into visual form and interacting with them, for a start.
But I feel really bad for Alma. Especially when she's working so hard for all of our sakes.
All right. Sounds like it's up to us. You with me, Xiao?
Well, it's not like I have anything against her. Do what you think is best. Just don't go overboard with it. Alma wouldn't want that.
You seem extra bubbly today, Sierra. Did something special happen or something?
Not a thing. But who can say someone else won't have a surprise in store?
You called for me.
Reggie!
I didn't expect to find the best and brightest of arcs gathered here when you sent for me, Overseer. Our two venerable guardians, and the great Xiao himself.
Yes, things have been complicated.
Brings us to the point, I suppose. What can I help you with, Sierra?
Well, I just think having you here is all the help we need. So thank you, and that should do it. Right?
Is that so? Well, I'm pleased to have an excuse to see you again, Guardian. I'm glad to see you in good health. And you, Matoi. Exercising moderation, I hope? Sarah often raises a fuss about your exploits at our command meetings.
Yes, I've been trying to have a bit more restraint. And you, Regius? Is everything going all right?
Oh, yes. The instructor's life is a fulfilling one. Each day is a gift, quite frankly.
Regius, I was hoping you could regale us with some of those good old war stories.
That's an odd request, Sierra. Wouldn't you rather see what happened firsthand in my deployment logs?
Well, I mean, maybe, but that's not the point. Look, Regius, I know this may be hard to believe, but I want you to know that right over there...
Stop it! Just don't tell him I'm here, okay? Please.
No! Wait a second! I'm sorry,
What's all that about, Shao?
I think it has to do with some matters you could have sorted out better. Say, 40 or so years ago.
Alma? Sorry, Sierra. I know you went to a lot of trouble for me, and I just ruined it. I can't tell you how happy it made me just to be able to see Reggie again. Honestly, it means the world to me that you do that. But it hurts seeing you all talking and having a great time with him, whereas all I could do was just float before him, invisible. It felt like I was trapped in a world where I don't exist. I felt lonely all of a sudden. In my head, I knew this was the way things would be. And yet look at me, still looking up where he's going and everything, still not letting go.
Oh, Alma, I'm so sorry. I should have considered how cruel this would be to you.
There's nothing cruel about it. I chose this reality, and I'll just have to live with it. You didn't do a single thing wrong, Sierra. Nobody did. So please, don't blame yourself for any of this.
I know I'm the one who said something might show up, but you didn't have to go and make my prediction come true! Jeez!
Readings suggest similarities to Apprentice, but stronger than the one from the mining base. Apprentice should be gone. Why is it appearing in this world?
Hey, Fairy! Get it together! It's here now, so we just gotta get rid of it! Anyway, you gonna be okay? Against that big lug? Alright, you got this! Go as crazy as you want! Just make sure you stop that thing!